Today I'm going to talk about these. um, it will make 2 years this month since I got him. I got him from someone who is really used to breeding and working with and training and doing shows, with these type of birds. It's kind of a funny story. I specifically asked for a girl, and I got this. And after a few months or so, due to some mannerisms and behavior, I was questioning if it was really a girl, and I asked him. And it turns out he made a very rare error of giving me a different gender than what I asked for. Because he's very seasoned. He's been doing this at least 20 or even 30 something plus years. So I originally was calling it Fiona, because Fiona means bright, white, or fair in the Scottish Gaelic language, and I like how it sounds, and I thought it was a really, nice, pretty, fit for such a bird. And so when I found that out, I'm like, okay, I'll just rename and call him Shrek. So it was more because of the meaning and the way the name sounded than the Shrek movie, although I do like the Shrek movie and find it funny and cute. So, and you can see he has eyelashes. I know. That kind of would also add to like female or girly feature. I'm just trying to think of how to explain this. So the most official name for this variety of bird is a satinet pigeon. Also, it's in the Oriental frill grouping. It's a specific variety of that. Oriental frill denotes the characteristics of the bird, so how it has that on its head and some ruffled feathers on its neck and chest, and he's kind of wanting to hang out with the crew, I guess. He's just not used to this, and the little tufts, the little feathers on his feet that are called muffs. Can you see them? Little feathers on his feet. I call this a tuft, and that's a muff. Okay, I'm mixing it up. So, and satinet denotes the specific type of patterns and coloring on the bird. So if you look at his wings, the way they have that pattern and coloring, and then the first few feathers on the ends are white, and you see all those markings, of course, it's on his other wing. And then his tail, you see his tail, it's gray with ends that are black and white. You can see his tail spread more out when he's flying, but you get the idea. So yes, now I'll show the true Fiona. So this is little Fiona. She is a lot smaller than him. If you could tell, probably. She has the same patterns. Her coloring on her wings is different than his, but they can have some variation in their colorings. His looks more silvery, and hers is more kind of has a very faint rose hue. You could see it better in person. On the camera, it might look. It's more of a light brown, and So you see her big, beautiful, nice, beautiful wings. They kind of are flighty sometimes when and I hold them, not all the time, but sometimes if they want to like go back to the, so she has the tuft on her head, ruffly feathers, and then the feathery muffed feet. So what's funny is I got him in March of 2023 and I got her in October of 2023 because I decided just to get a female because I was like, maybe he'll be less lonely and it'll like calm him down, because he was kind of having his own sort of behavior attitude, and I just wanted to see what would happen, and we were open to, if they don't get along, to either separate them or send her back. Well, they ended up, you know, liking each other, and they, as I joke, got married the pigeon/dove way and had 3 babies in 2024. All those birds are like adult birds now, but it was cool because I got to see the egg, you know, like them still in the egg and it hatch. So far from what I can tell, they've had 2 boys and 1 girl. We've been thinking about giving one of the boys or rehoming him due to like how aggressive he can be towards other birds. Not 100% sure, but have been thinking about it. I really like to pride myself in doing my best to take care of my pets, but it's kind of something I've been thinking around with and mulling around with. So we'll just have to see. We may do an outdoor coop for at least 3 or 4 of them, and if he fights with them and we don't want to separate him, then we may have to do that. So it's because there's a linguistic or semantic like dichotomy with these types of birds that I think a lot of people frankly do not really like understand truly. So pigeons and doves are both basically the same type of bird. They're both in the Columbidae family, and that also includes the dodo bird, fun fact. And so in English, dove is typically used, or ended up being used, to refer to the smaller birds in the Columbidae family, and pigeon got to be used to refer to the larger birds in the Columbidae family. So pigeons are basically just like big to really big doves, but the thing about it is that like that's kind of interesting, at least in English, and a lot of people may be surprised to hear this. What people would call like a pigeon, as in like the city pigeon you see in urban areas just walking around or flying around eating french fries, that is typically called the rock dove in like an official sense. And yeah, it's kind of funny because when people see like a cute little mourning dove, they're like, oh, cute little sweet peaceful, you know, dove, adorable. But then when they see a rock dove, or, you know, quote unquote, what a lot of people want to think of as a dirty nuisance city pigeon, they'll be like, ew, gross pigeon pest. But they're literally both like Columbidae, and they were actually either the first type of bird or among the first types of birds to be domesticated and kept as pets by people, going back at least several thousand years, maybe even at least 10,000 years, depending on like the source you read. So basically they have been kept as pets by humans, like analogous, going back really far, like dogs and cats have. And so that's another thing a lot of people just frankly are too ignorant to know about, or just never really thought about or were aware of. And I think it's kind of sad because, you know, they tended to be like in different cultures and civilizations for a very long time. Like they were used to deliver messages or for entertainment or as just companion pets. And then over the past like 100-ish years or 50 years, 70, 60 years, it depends like what source you read, that was around the time they like their their potential was kind of like discarded or ignored or forgotten about, and they were kicked to the curb, so to speak, and no longer seen as like companion or pet birds, and now just like a nuisance of a pest. Well, I understand why people who live in cities will or can see them as annoying, because like, yeah, there can be a lot of them everywhere, but it's because of people that happen, like people, you know, abandoning or forgetting about them or just letting them go to the curb. That's why cities are like that. They're basically the descendants of ones who kind of got like forgotten about or discarded by people or just let loose. So yeah, and then in like Spanish, for example, paloma is used to refer to both a bird that most people call a dove in English and then a bird that most people call a pigeon in English. And so I kind of like that because I'm like, they're all palomas, you know, it makes sense because I do speak Spanish, and so yeah. Anyway, I can make more videos about like my pet birds or just talking about birds in general if any of you all are interested. And also, yeah, it's Ash Wednesday, so to everyone who observes it, you know, happy Ash Wednesday, and hope you'll have a good Lent, and bye, take care, peace.